Hi, my name is Matthew Seiji Burns. I recently wrote a novel and it's called Process. Process is the story of a guy named Lucas Adderson. He is a tech worker here in Seattle. He dreams of having a startup, and not just any tech startup, but a startup to rule the world, a startup that's on everyone's lips. He wants to create a technology that underpins literally everything. As he does this, he becomes more and more internal. He starts to deal with his own demons. His lack of success starts to become more and more conspicuous. It becomes more and more difficult because he's always comparing himself to other people. And so his need drives him into some very dark places. I've had some people tell me it's very harrowing and difficult to read because it's told in the first person from Lucas's perspective. And he's not necessarily the most well-adjusted or kind or completely sane person. He's consistently portrayed as sort of unable to see what other people think of him. He is so driven by his need to be successful that he misses a lot of cues that other people send him about like what he's doing and how he's acting. And so he loses a lot of friends because of this, and he doesn't really understand why. He just thinks everyone is being an asshole to him. My hope actually was that people would read it and kind of empathize a little bit with this guy, even though he sucks objectively. What inspired me to tell this story is living in this tech world that we live in now, especially here in Seattle, and a combination of that with my own feelings about ambition and trying to pursue your goals in life. I'm personally somewhat of an ambitious person as well. I think I'm ambitious artistically, but there are parallels to any kind of ambition where you want something and you are trying to get it and it feels like the world is against you. So Process is set in Seattle, and to me it's very much a Seattle story. Even in the time that I've been here, it's transformed so much. And that has made me think about like the forces that are shaping the city over time and the kinds of people that live here and what their desires are and what their goals are and how those things shape the world around us. Right now, I feel like we're living in a world that's created by these tech companies and the people who work at the tech companies. And so investigating kind of the mindset of those people is very important to me because I think it's like affecting our world just in general. I think there's something to be said about the way the technology in the book, which you'll have to read to find out what it is, but the way the technology in the book works, people talk about it in terms of like, it'll do anything, it will solve everything. It will be the solution to all of the world's problems that we have now is this new technology, and all we need is infinite computing power. The name Process comes from the fact that the technology in the book is all computer processing. It's all based on the process that we make computers undergo to try to solve problems for us. And the more processing power that we have, the more solutions we can come up with, ostensibly, right? And the hunger for processing power is what is driving a lot of what happens in the book. Everything is a process, right? Everything around us in the world is a process that's continually happening. And we want to try to model that with computers. We create a proxy world that we can compute inside computers to try to reflect the real world, to try to model the real world and predict the real world so that we can be safer, so that we can make money and control the world. So by replacing the real world with this fake computer world that we have control over, we're more secure, or at least that's the theory. I think if people take anything away from Process, I hope that some people read it and they say, oh wow, that's me, or oh wow, I know that person. If they're able to connect with the character in some way, even if that character is not necessarily the best person, if they can see themselves in that person or see someone they know in that person, that's worthwhile to me. You know, there's a connection there. Finding that connection between the kinds of people that exist and fictionalizing it, exaggerating it, pulling on it, moving it around a little bit, and then presenting it back to people. It's a way for us to look at ourselves. It's a way for us to have a conversation about the kinds of people that we are, the world that we live in, and what kind of world maybe we want to live in. So that's my highest hope for the novel, is to start that kind of conversation.